Well, whenever you see this, it means that the bottom line is here. So let me say good evening to everyone, including the panelists and the guests that will be joining us in advance. But this is the bottom line, and we are here every Tuesday and Friday to bring you information as they unfold in Liberia. And we discuss our issues with no bias. We discuss with balance of opinions. We may not be right, we may not be wrong, but that's our opinion. And so let me say welcome to Mr. Jamal Kamara on the far left on your screen. He's from the UK. And also to Mr. Paul the Lord Chidople. He's on the far right upper row on your right hand side on your screen. And the only lady with us, of course, uh, should we say our queen on the show tonight, Orita Menon, and she's in Scandinavia, in Sweden to be specific. And my name is Lynn Goa, also in Scandinavia, Norway. And so let us say welcome to all of you, our viewers, or those of you that will be joining us. Please help us to share the show, share to your friends on your personal Facebook pages, and if you have more than one. And also be reminded that we are on our internet radio. Is also called the Bottom Line Radio. So you can get us everywhere. We're streaming also on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So be a part of the show tonight. And tonight we're going to have exciting discussions. I'm sure the panelists are ready. And you know, on this show, before I come to you guys, let me just tell our viewers on this show, we play the devil's advocate. We don't always agree on opinions or on topics, but that doesn't mean that we don't know what we're doing. So uh, it's very, very cool. Yeah. So I will come to you guys in the UK. Let me start with my Scandinavian sister. Today we've been reading 19, tonight is 19. Early this morning was 17. But the funny thing is that sometimes we got 25 degrees minus, but it's not this cold like this 19 or 17. It's terrible. You cannot breathe. You know, the air is so dry. Is it like that in your area, Orita?
I mean, the weather here is not that cold.
Yeah, please lower your monitor.
Yeah, excuse me. I don't think it's me though. Yeah,
Yeah, you okay now?
me it's cold, but not that cold. Not that cold. It's
Wow,
bearable.
you're lucky. And Paul, how is your London? I mean, I know London, typical London weather. I know at this time. Paul, you are muted, please.
Yeah, I would say good evening and good afternoon to our viewers, and good evening to you guys. Uh, London for the past since Monday, it's been snowing in my area here. It's been extremely cold. So as we speak today, it's just unbearable. I just can't stand the cold. And it
Hmm.
just for me, I just want to pack my bed and jet out to my beloved country, Liberia. But this is it. When you have a bad country, you're stuck in white people country.
So you see, there's nowhere like heaven on earth. A cool here,
Exactly.
but here better, but then your home country where you can enjoy
It
is
does.
bad.
Thank you.
So Jamal, where do you stand? Are you cool or are you warm?
Hello, do you hear me?
Yeah, right. We hearing you.
All right. Yeah, we're doing very great. Yeah, Manchester is always wet, and if you come around United Kingdom, it's all in the northwest, and it's a very wet area. So we're doing pretty good, but it's freezing cold. So we're managing here. This is a weather season. It's a wet season anyway, and we're managing with the weather so far.
Good. And I guess we are set tonight to have exciting discussion. Before we go into our discussion, we also urge our viewers, like we said, please share your contacts. If you have Facebook, share. If you have YouTube or whatever social media you have, share it on it, and let's have a great discussion. Uh, we'll be back soon with our discussion, but let's have this interlude of music, Paul.
Yeah.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for us. No one to trust, my people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough for time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for us. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Well, that is the age-old cry in Liberia. The government betrayed us, they deceived us, they lied to us. And so, if you know that your governments, with S, governments in the past, even up to present, have lied to you, 2023 is here for you to make a best decision that will shape your destiny in the future and your children's future. So, guys, again, let me say welcome to Jamal, to Paul, and to Orita, and to myself on the program. Don't forget yourself always. We're gonna have a great show tonight. So, but let's just start with some general casual intro. Like what you think excites you about Liberia today. Yeah, I mean, why you think you should be excited about your country called Liberia today, gentlemen? Just 1 minute each. Let's just go around. I mean, while our viewers share the show. Let me start from the lady. They say ladies first. So, Urito, if you are supposed to be excited today as a Liberian, tell me one thing that will excite you.
Oh wow, that's interesting, but kind of. I think it will be. I will answer where I'm not going to answer from a political standpoint.
Mhm.
I think just the fact that Liberians, the hope for a better Liberia, that's something, it excites me because I feel like now 2023, yeah. Even though I said I wasn't going to mix it with politics, but at the same time, it's not politics, but just, the living being there.
And Paul, I see you smiling. I think you return touch your nerves. If there was this one thing that excites Paul Chilplay about Liberia today, what would it be?
Linford, first you got to honor my Lord Chilopene. It's something that I work for very hard, so you cannot leave my Lord out.
So that the law will excite you today.
Well,
Mentor about Liberia.
it's part of excitement. What really excites me today is in 2023,
Mhm.
and we're going to get rid of the bad people that run our country. That's what excites me now. So it just build my momentum to get rid of those wicked people in our space that don't want for our country to progress. That's what excites me.
You guys will making it easier for Jamal because I think you're not answer. So Jamal, just the two got template. I don't want a template now. So yeah.
Like probably I see it from the I just the perseverance Liberia have for hope, like for after all the 14 years of war and we came through it, and with the difficulty, if you can see the Liberian, the suffering Liberians are going through today, and they stay hopeful tomorrow going to be better. That's the thing that make me build, that make me feel Liberian. And then if you go through some videos, some personal video being sent across from Liberia, from friends and family members, you feel that they can't stand this. If some country they will be on the street demonstrating, attacking government officials and other places, but Liberians they are very hopeful, very, very, persevere. They had these perseverance, thinking like, well, they're going to be better. And one good thing about Liberia, we have the belief system that we believe that at the end of the day, you're going to be all right. Where you and myself live, you think that at the age of 40, if you don't have any good job, nothing else to do, now sometimes you become suicidal, you want to commit suicide. But Liberians, we are believer, we believe in God, and we believe that there will be a hope at the end of the day, and that's just what keeps us going. That's the thing of beautiful Liberia I like about Liberia and Liberians.
That's great. I think all of you guys made a salient point. You made it easier for me. So let me say that I'll start with Jima and also with Rita and with Paul. But I just want to add a little bit that the fact that when I was graduating from high school, my class motto was perseverance, and I never forget that word, and I've always applied it to my life. That no matter what happens, no matter how tough things seem to be, always persevere, continue pressing, go forward. Because you cannot go backward, and life does not operate that way. And Liberian people are the typical definition of perseverance. And my experience goes back to the wartime when people were dying, when people could hardly find food to eat, when sicknesses were raging, but people still had a small hope. And I remember one of the songs they used to sing. It is raining all around. People they encourage themselves. They made themselves to still feel that they were human beings. And all we need as Liberians is to have that hope and trust that there will be a better day. And now the guns are silent, and here we are. Politically, we are still stronger, but we know that if the guns can be silent and that nobody is waking up to run away in the night because they're coming to attack, we know that the political game will be played and we'll have the best players on the field and we'll get a desired result. So I'm very happy for all of our you guys for our intro. It was very exciting. But tonight, like we said, we have some topics that we'll be discussing. It will be very interesting. But let's welcome our folks. And if we do mention you by name, it's simply because we cannot see your names. But I know Marilla Mo is here because she's always with us. She's even sharing the video. So you can all help us to share the video. But Paul, tonight, and Paul, Jima, and Rita, tonight, we have a few things to discuss. The first one is the CPP Standard Bearer, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. Recently, should we put date on it? Yesterday, paid a humanitarian or courtesy call to ailing former Vice President Joseph Numa Boakai at his Numa Boakai's home to wish him well and to encourage him. You know, in Liberia, when people are sick, the best we can do, because we are not doctors, the best we can do is to say, oh, but no, Maya, take hope and you'll be all right. And I think that's the kind of message that Mr. Cummings carried to former VP yesterday. First of all, what I want to know from the panelists here is whether the move by Mr. Cummings was in the right direction. And if you say yes, why? And if you say no, why? Did Mr. Cummings have to do that? Let me start with Jama. Did Mr. Cummings really have to go to VP Boakai to wish him well? Why he couldn't just take a phone and call him and say, oh, Joe, get well and bounce back and, talk to him. But he drove there and he met him in person and they even shook hands. Was it in the right direction?
Oh yeah. For me, I want to take you to the. Are you with me, guys?
Yeah, we are with you.
I'm taking to being I'm a bit a traditionalist, and if you look at Liberia, let's put politics aside.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody if you are sick, somebody knock at your door and say, "Oh, I just stopped by to say sorry," it's a big thing. I mean, culturally, it's a big thing. I don't know about other part of Africa. It's a big thing in Liberia, and I think Mr. Alexander B. Cummings has gone beyond the level where politics, you put politics aside, you go to, look, I'm going to your senior brother, come to speak to you and see how your healthy situation is going. One thing we don't understand, I think we don't understand, people that support both political candidates. We are political adversaries. We are not common enemies. We differ because of policies. Yeah, we don't agree because we got different agenda. I mean, different policy. That's what I'm manifesto. The way we implement it. But we may not agree, but we should always, I always say that we should learn to, Paul, I'd call it. The thing is about, we should learn to agree and disagree as grown-ups and discuss our differences. Knocking at the door, calling on the old man, not only calling on the phone, stopping by and say, Uncle Joe asking to say sorry or what happened to you today, your health is okay. It's a big thing in Liberian society. And you should be welcomed. We should continue to doing this. Despite, if we'll go. I know you're asking. We'll be going around, asking, what he has gone through. Why should you go and stop what he's doing and say sorry? You say in the African society, we all know that from a Liberian perspective, you never go wrong against your brother, your senior brother. They always call you and tell you, this is your senior brother. You need to respect him. And they'll call your senior brother later and tell you, what happened? This is not how it goes. Something we'll go deep into the discussion later on what happened with the fallout at the CPP. Well, I'll give you why I look at it. Sometimes something was missing and people trying to rekindle these things and put them together. But in any case, stopping by to say hi and say sorry, how your health situation was a big thing. It's all beyond politics. It's about being a humanitarian, being a Liberian, and being A young man who understand. I mean, not a kind of young man Mr. Cummings is, but a man who understand the Jew Liberian culture and says sorry and we wish you well. I think that was a good thing.
Orita, what do you think?
I mean, I agree with what Jamal said, and in the case of Mr. Cummings going to visit the former VP, I think that's something we should promote it in a positive way because despite politics, we are human, and as Liberians, we are connected to God. Say, it's each and every one of us time. So for me, I applaud that, and I'm happy Mr. Cummings did it. And however people take it, however they understand it, that's something I'm not even going to, you know, engage in to say, oh, try to explain. That was the right thing to do. I mean, and it is the right thing to do moving forward. So yeah, that's my take on that.
And Paul, finally, you?
Well, thank you, Linford. I mean, sickness is not for one person alone. We all get sick, so it happened, and it was a great move that Mr. Cummings made to see his longtime friend. They've been friends for over 40 years, so we shouldn't forget that. It's almost like their family. So if your big brother is sick, why not visit him and say, look, older brother get well soon. It was a good thing that he did, and we all could do it. It could be Mr. Cummings too that was ill. I think the big brother could have also made the same visit over there. So yes, that's how it is. He showed the good side of him, although we get into the nitty-gritty later on, but in every society, I mean, sickness is nothing that we can all play with. Everybody can get sick. So yeah, he did the right thing.
Okay. Now let me trace the question a little bit on the other side. We'll go deeper, but let me get trace it this way. What if it was like some happy occasion that came to GMB? Probably he had additional grandchildren or something good that happened to him. Do you think it would have been salient for Mr. Cummings to do similar thing, to go and say, oh, Uncle Joe, I came to say congratulations or whatever? I mean, because we don't just want to look at it the other way where it's bad thing or it's yeah, the other way around. So let's twist it the other way, because there's a reason why I'm asking this question. And let me give that reason before you guys can answer. The reason is that this visit could just create some mutual feeling. That's why I'm asking this question. So if it was a good thing, we know that this other visit was because the woman was not feeling well. But if it was something good, you think it would have been better for Mr. Cummings to also go there?
So I will come in. I
Mm-hmm.
think on the part of you saying if the former VP, was a grandfather, and then that's something I think. One, okay, maybe this is where I'm going to go. My
The other
Swedish
way.
way, my Swedish way of thinking. But that's something I think an invitation. You know, but I know maybe within our culture, certain places you don't need invitation. But I think due to the fact that the grandchild might be living to with their parents, because that's a child, and then who know, maybe they wouldn't want Mr. Cummings to come. So Mr. Cummings cannot just show up and say, "Oh yeah, I'm here to see the baby." I
Okay.
think that one you need.
Yeah,
That's
fair
my
enough. Fair
Swedish
enough.
way of
Fair enough.
thinking of it.
Yeah.
Linford, that in Liberia before we had telephone.
Mm-hmm.
When you come from school, you hungry, you go knock to your big brother door to see whether he got food to eat, right? In Liberia, the tradition still the tradition. These people been friends for over 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
They know each other for a long time. So
Mm-hmm.
if a good news come like that, oh, new grandchild, you hear the news, sometimes you say, oh, big brother, what happened? I heard the news. If I'll be to your house tomorrow, you don't need invitation. That's the Liberian thing. That's how people get along with the friendship. So when you and somebody friendly
Mm-hmm.
for long, they say what? What is it? That family, right? The tree can bend,
Yeah.
but it can't break. that similar thing is like that. So you can pop in. They are friends. They are friends.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's how I
Okay.
see it from. That's because a new child is born. I mean, you don't know whether there's another king or queen or
President.
some president coming to
Mhm.
embrace that child. It's all a beautiful thing to welcome a new baby. That's I see in a traditional setting.
Mhm. Okay, Jamal, let's hear from you quickly. Then we
Yeah,
can.
no, I think I support my colleagues here on the platform. And he going there was a good thing because, and also I think Uncle Joe also allowing him to come over because he just can't go and knock his door without being invited. And he
Mhm.
rang him, I'm coming to say hi. And I think if you have known Mr. Cummings for a long time, he's not a guy who will play politics with this kind of thing. And like we expect the country president to the first person to pay respect to go and speak to the old man. And for politics aside, being a grandfather, he's really, if you're not playing political points here. And he probably will come back to where Mr. Kumi has been warning his supporters to not make political game out of the old man's health and make sure they pray for him and keep him alive. Whether you like it or not, we all got differences. That's what I've said. We are all political enemies. We are not common enemies. We have one objective. So Mr. Kumi may have called and asked me, oh, Uncle Joe, I want to come by and say, how are you doing? You said, okay, we are welcome. And then he was opening up as a grandma and his experienced old man. So I think it was a good thing and it's a traditional. I think we all should welcome this.
Yeah. And this will take us to the next question. And this other question now will be a little bit critical. But somebody has already started preempting this question. We have not asked, but Mieta Dakina is saying, no, Papi GMB was never going to visit Mr. Cummings. And we never even asked the question. But okay, so let's go there. Let's dive into that. What if it
Yeah.
was the other way that Mr. Cummings, was not feeling well, and it went in the media that everybody was playing with and then politicizing it? You think GMB would have said, oh, Cummings and I, beside our political little things, or we were schoolmates before, and he's my younger brother, and since we're all into this thing, I see the need to visit. You think the old man would have done that?
I, for me, I'll come in.
I mean, we can't,
Personally,
yeah, we can't preempt for him, but I mean, let's just look at it
yeah.
generally.
I mean, like you say, because I just saw what Miata wrote. The thing
Mhm.
is, in life, if you are doing something, do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because you expect people to do the same. Okay, and when it comes to a situation like that, even for me, if the VP decided he don't want to go, that's on him and his conscience. It's not going to take anything away from Mr. Cummings. So by Mr. Cummings doing it, I don't think we should expect the former VP to say, okay, you came to me yesterday, I'm gonna come to you. But being like, we human beings too, being that we are connected to each other, of course, sometimes you do expect that, oh, I go visit my friend. And sometimes you do expect, visitation from that person. But if it don't happen, one shouldn't take it, one shouldn't take it like, oh, everything's spoiled. I mean, that's just my take and opinion on that.
Hmm. Anybody can flow, Paul and Jima.
Let Jema flow.
You are muted, Jima, please. Yeah.
Okay. The thing is, to be honest, let's be honest here. If you follow records,
Mhm.
I don't think the old man, Uncle Joe, will have visited him. That's the fact. Because if you follow trends, and from the CPP saga coming up to the recent discussions and how they break up, we all knew that when we were on this platform, if you follow some of our videos, we were saying that he'd been a senior man in our CPP. What he should have done was to talk to Mr. Kumi as his son. Problem Mr. Kumi, I have told you, if they had these discussions, that there were things that he should have talked to you like a son. Okay, but not a son, but he can't be a son, but like his junior brother. Before that break up the CPP, there will be a lot of things if you have step up as a senior man, experienced man, and speak on issues that we were talking about today. From there, that tell us where the old man position will have been. I mean, we can't preempt it, but this is how it goes. And you could see that going to court to testify against, not testify, but say something against the Cummings. If you have not gone to that level, how much about Mr. Cummings was sick and the issue of a lot of stuff going on. We never heard one day the old man telling his followers, do not attack Mr. Cummings. And if you have been in a meeting, you're a CPP member, you're in a meeting, Mr. Cummings will be telling you, I've been telling you guys, none of my supporters that will speak against to any of the political leaders in bad word. If you don't have fact, don't say anything. And above all, don't insult. When people like Costa used to be insulting Mr. Cummings, he will come and tell us nobody should insult anybody. This is kind of person Mr. Cummings is. He's a leader. He be a leader and a manager. This is what we're talking about. You know, when you want to let you know that when you're a leader, what have happened to him? The issue of the court case was to break Mr. Cummings down and finish him and saying out. These two, he tested the ground. He was battle tested, he stood against it. And this is how he is. And the kind of thing we'd be talking to Liberians, the kind of people we're going to be having. He's a man, he's a tough man. He got very thick skin. And he's ready to take on. And people make the old man. We keep saying that people around the old man keep messing with him. See it being experienced, you use his wisdom. And this is why Mr. Cummings is now playing that part what he should have played. You know, you're not playing school in the political games, but talking to him as, look, this is my senior brother. He's sick. Put politics aside. I will speak to him. I can show you. Mr. The old man will have not called him. Either have spoken to him. You have had, I would like to remind you, follow all the interview of Mr. Cummings. He never said anything against Uncle Joe. One of the interview Mr. Uncle Joe had with 50-50 or somebody I wanted somebody were talking about why Mr. Cummings play a game or something like you could find that interview. He didn't say anything that was some negative about he said something like how Mr. Cummings was involved in templing or fidgeting the document and stuff like that. That was public, a couple of interviews. I mean, you could hear from him. But all the interviews Mr. Cummings had never ever said anything against any of the political leaders. He said he didn't do anything, and he's a clean man, he got clean hand, did not point finger. Those are things we're trying to catalog here to say Mr. Cummings will go and speak to him. And look, another thing I'll take you back, guys. I know I'm taking time here.
No, you have your time.
Cummings will have, you see the case of one of those guys, either the ALP leader, Mr. Ure, or the old man, if this, what they have done to him, the court case, people have been asking Mr. Cummings to sue them because there was a Booker case against him. But it will have been them, they have been the other way around. Now, Mr. Cummings said that nothing has happened. It was a test of time for him. They will have taken the other way around to muddy the ground, to muddy the political scene for him. Liberian politics, we've been playing the video here when Mr. Ure saying that they will go after Mr. Cummings, and they'll go after he himself will be the one to lead that game. There's a gutter politics in Liberia. Mr. Cummings is not tapped. He's a clean man, clean heart. He got the heart of that country. That man will have resigned and lived a life without even doing anything in Liberia. He would die rich. I mean, this is not what he wants. He's desperate to change Liberia. And this is why he put a lot of things aside. So, frankly speaking, I can tell you for what I've cataloged here, Mr. Uncle Joe will have not even ranked him, even stop by to say, oh man, how are you doing today? That's just a fact. We've seen it from videos, from discussions, from interviews.
Paul.
I think Jamal nailed it because I was going to go similar line. And that's happened. The old man, we know back from 2017 election. Why am I bringing this out? His former boss that he worked with for 12 years. The fact is that they went for some little thing that led them apart. The owner of that party, he sat down there, women pay and other people expel her from the party. That is a clear indication what Jamal talking about. The same team that showed. The old man said something, somebody that he know over 40 years. He told say, oh, the man, he just stranger in this country. The people don't know him, they're traditional people. He said that. So if you go to the catalog, all of these things, it wouldn't have led him to do it. Going to looking in his friend eyes that he know over 40 years, say, I don't know this person. That embarrassment, he wouldn't have done it to go facing. And that is the fact. So based on those incidents, it's telling you that he was not going to do it. And if you're going to do it, maybe you're going to score political point, or Mr. Cummings will be scoring political points. So he wouldn't have done it from my own analysis.
Wonderful. Okay, we're all panelists. I also have a view. And I will strongly believe that the VP will not have visited Mr. Cummings, giving all of the reasons that you can have earlier on outlined. And I'll also add more. See, this VP, this former VP, has a history of trying to push other people under the bus. Idiomatically speaking, this is a VP that served a president for complete 12 years, 12 unbroken years. And he comes to seek power, and then he begins to condemn his boss that he worked with and accuse that boss of sidelining him for complete 12 years and trying to exempt himself from all of the failures of that government. But what amazes me also about this former VP is that he will want to take glory for what that government that he served in for 12 years did. But when a bad one comes, then he wants to play the Mr. Clean. Okay, when they said United Party build roads, oh yeah, they didn't want to build a road. United Party brought peace, yeah, they brought a peace. Meeting the peace, they did it. United Party did any good thing, he's part of it. But when it comes to Unity Party corruption, bad government, then he said, no, I was parked in the garage for 12 years. Look at the 66, the 68 concessions that is signed in 12 years. Out of the 66, only 2 was manageable. The APN terminal that we're suffering with today, and I think something else. I think there's the Lamco, what do you call it? The group in Lima. Okay, so the other 66, they all have problems. Some were scrapped totally. Now, before they even started. Now, who is the president of the Senate? Who breaks ties on any vote or anything in the Senate? It's the VP. And under whose signature these concessions are signed? The VP. He sat down there, he signature those concessions, bad concessions, and all of these. Yet he was parking in a garage. I don't know whether he was playing a dual role. One part is parking in a garage, and the other part is there signing people. So, this old man, who was supposed to really revel or honor, gave people reason to doubt his leadership ability. Okay, because at one point you cannot be in a good part, then the next point you're in a garbage can. Okay, when the good things happen, you are there, but when the bad thing happens, oh no, I was not there. So former President Ellen, with all of her ways, I don't know her personally. I've dealt with her one time only when she came here, 2 times. When she came here 2007, and then when she came 2011 for her Nobel Peace Prize, that's when we sat with talk. Okay, in a group, not one-on-one. Okay, 2007 when she came with talk one-on-one, I delivered a speech to her on behalf of Liberia. Okay, that was all. But I think with all what people say about her, she would not have chosen a man to work with for 12 years, knowing fully well that this man is productive, that this man is contributing to their policy, to their vision, and then pack him. And then she will go far America, other part of the world, to take people to come and work in her government, but she will pack her vice president. Something was wrong. And then time for election, for that vice president to run to succeed her, she did not give her blessing. So, I mean, put on your third eye. For God's sake, put on your third eye. There is something, Liberian, there is something that Ellen Johnson knew about this woman that we do not know or see. And he exhibited it during the CPP era. So let me stop right there. And
while we wish for the old man to recuperate, to recover from the illness, we are not roasting him here. No. We want to be factual here. We're not telling Liberian people how bad he is. We wish him, let's put it first foremost, that we wish the old man well.
That's we've been doing that.
He's a senior man, and he served the country. He's a civil servant, and he did well for that country. And we wish him well. Look, let's keep repeating this. we are not common enemies. We all have different objective. I mean, different policies, and we all have one objective: Liberia going forward, and Liberians benefiting from it. But we have to call facts first. When it comes to this platform, people wonder why you want to discuss Omeroy today. Because he's a political figure, because he's a civil servant, because he tried to serve the country. And this is our right as Liberians to discuss it. So people think like we shouldn't be discussing. If you're a public figure, your life is under the microscope. Your life is under the microscope. We discuss it, we tell you how we think about you. This is how it's bad to go. It's almost like celebrity. Again, in your life, people want to know your privacy, how you live, what you do in the back, that behind our doors, all the stuff. So people will talk about it every day. So we want people to understand that. If we've got a couple of topics, but if you want to lead our country, to be a president of about over 5 million people, your life is under a microscope. We will discuss it. We're not going to be abusive here. We're not going to be ignorant here. We're looking at facts. So we want to make that clear right here, guys. And to go back to the issue of the Uncle Joe. I mean, what I was saying to you guys is this: where we are today with the CPP, what we're going to call CPP today. If CPP going to break up a CPP, let's say consider that Mr. Cummings, he doesn't want to be vice president anyway. Nobody want to get into the competition and be the second in command. I mean, this is fact. I will support that 100%. To anybody, I wouldn't want to spend money and run for a vice presidency, but depending on the condition that I've been approached. So if you look at what's happening today, why we went to that breakup of that CPP, because Uncle Joe did not play a senior man role. I can tell you for a fact, because if that would have been done, there's a lot of ways you can play in a Liberian situation. Where if I'm getting to Orita, I want to get to Orita, and Orita is not listening to me. What do I go to? I go to somebody that knows Orita very well to speak to or to listen to. 2 or 3 persons Orita will listen to, and they'll sit down. I have witnesses where I have make effort to Orita to make sure if you all have one objective. But the way I will approach Orita, it will look different. Orita will look at me, well, I don't care whether Jamal look like he's not even smart and tell you because he's of this level, he can do this. You can win this. I'll leave him, I got my popularity. And there where the ball got spoiled. Everything's sports from that point. So what I'm trying to say is he did not play a senior man role to be where the opposition is to. Where the opposition is up today. We all saying the opposition break up because there was some kind of disunity. They did not understand. They didn't put Liberia first. But there has to be an objective. From the start, something was missing. And this is what we're talking about today. Somebody would consider as a senior man who should lead our country for 40 years serving in the public service. And you would believe, we all profess to say that he's a very senior and experienced politician. What he should have done to play a senior man role, and not only their traditional ruler role.
But do you think his failure to play the quote unquote senior man role is due to the fact that he had interest in the presidency as well as Mr. Cummings? Because the reason I'm asking this question, it could have played out this way: that if he was only a member, say the CPP was just an organization, okay, and then they didn't have interest in one common. All of them didn't have interest in one common thing, okay. Do you think he would have played that role and say, "Oh no, listen, you guys who are at loggerhead with each other, you come and say, let's talk." But because he had interest, that's why he did not play that part, and then he decided to even testify against Mr. Cummings.
No. Let me get this straight to you. This is
but I'm just asking. He didn't say that.
Yeah. The thing about it is like this. He could say, let's be clear here. Let's say that he wants to be president. Mr. Cummings wants to be president, and Honorable Euro want to be president. And the one interest, all of them going for Liberia. Some of them could, most of them, Mr. Cummings won't mind compromising for the fact that he said the best thing, I'm desperate to change Liberia, not to be a president. The only way to change our country is to be the top. You be a decision maker. You could be an humanitarian to change our country, make decision, but if you're at the top, you can change it. He could compromise for some other reason, depending how the negotiations are gone. But I can tell you that if you follow discussion from the start of the CPP up to today, there was not a legitimate or concrete discussion meetings how to go about it. The way they started in the way that they all go, at some point they can decide who will run. If they decide, like we do it the Western way, we all have a clean heart. We'll put your name forward. Whoever wins the ballot, we should all support that person. That was a clean thing. Not like I got something against you, or I could develop political vendetta. But what is happening here, what I'm trying to say, Linford, is this. He will play a senior role that for the sake of Liberia, we can sit down and discuss how we go forward. This is what I'm talking about. If he had played that role very well, we have not been to where we are today. He did not do it. We know how we do our things in Liberia in a traditional way. We sit down. I just made a mention of how will I speak to Orita. If I can't get to Orita, I want Orita to listen to me. I'll speak to somebody who gets to Orita or understands so very well. This is what I'm saying. Probably is saying a lot of things to you if you understand where I'm coming from. Instead of coming to you, you know what? It's written in black and white that say that we all should vote for, put someone's name forward. If the people agree, if our partisans support this person, let's take that as a candidate. But then we can come and say, you know what, we put that, we can change around and say, we want Liberia come first. We need to make some compromises here. It can happen. They were all good men who had Liberians at heart. So, in my point here, he being the most senior, most experienced, as they say, most experienced, and a traditionalist, will have played a lot of good role and served for 12 years in the country as a second person. And with the connections, a lot of things have changed. Man, leadership come with a lot of stuff. It's a package, man. It's not when you sit there and say you're a leader. You got a lot of ways. If you see, how do you motivate people when you're a manager and leader? You know, when you're a leader, how do you get people to follow you, to like you? You build. Some people are not born with a charisma, but you develop it. Some people develop because the way they lead people. People begin to like you because you move things. That's how it happens. Not because you're handsome or you're a beautiful person. The way you lead the people, you get across the people, Linford, that makes a lot of sense. And that was lacking somewhere in our whole program. So people went the other way because nothing was understood. If I have not been respected, look what happened when I CPP, that whole document stuff. You could see that there was anger in it. You will see that things that everybody would become one person against one person. You saw that for a complete 5 months. Kill someone politically, even the person in repetition. Who will have taken that? Do you see what they've been discussing in the background? Nobody was putting trust forward to somebody. They were not coming clear to tell. We saw the intention of other people against one person. This is what that was. So that's what I'm looking at. So he did not play the role we expect him to play as a senior man traditionally.
And maybe Orita wants to come in, but I'll also add to that. Orita?
Yeah. The thing is, I understand what Jamal is saying, and for me, as a human being, as a woman, I strongly believe in this thing where it's like a person can try to portray, another persona in front of people, and a person will do things, I always say that, what people do in the dark come forward. Concerning, the former VP and what, Jamal and, we've been discussing here, I will put it like this. It's like things happen, and no matter how hard we try to just shove it, in the box, it's still there in the back of our head. But now, as we speak, I feel like give him time to heal. This is when I'm going, give him time to heal, because everything we're saying here, they are facts, and Mr. Cummings and the ANC, we have experience it, when it comes to our, our other opposition brothers on the side, UP. But sometimes it's like, it's just good to let people, keep showing themselves. Because if somebody keep doing the same thing, they keep showing a certain character, people are not blind. People are not blind. People may not speak on it, but they see it every time it happens. So one just have to let that person or such people do what they do best. And when time comes for people to wake up and realize that, okay, you people have shown your character. And I know, it's, we're in a political season, so, one have to just lay facts down to, to the Liberian people. But I feel like right now, let the former VP, let him heal. when he come back, and then we tell him. But this is, from my, has a woman and a daughter. Because like Jamal said, Mr. Cummings, every meeting, every little meeting, he always tells us that, what, certain things just let it be, because people do see librarians are not stupid. Yes, I know some of them try to not use their, they don't put their thinking cap on concerning their life back home. But when it comes to like these things that are already in the public, people sees it. And I think, what we're saying, yes, the former VP has showing signs that a lot of us, really, even me, who, sitting here and saying like, let him heat first, but he have shown many signs, that to this day I'm still in shock. But sometimes God, we just gotta leave certain things to God. That's
Okay.
your answer.
Yeah, they say go for all for one, or all for some. But let me just add a little to that, and then we can transition to the next point. Chima spoke about the role, the traditional role that he should have played. Those of us from traditional background will know what our elders do. There is a parable that the elder, if they go to the palm one tree, while the man is up there tapping the palm one, and the elders are sitting there, and the thing they use to tap the palm one, they drop in the bush, or it's on the ground from up. The elders cannot remain under there and nothing get missing. The moment drop, they will find it, meaning that they are wise enough. It's just a parable, like the elders are wise people, and they will always make wise decisions. So I think that goes also in every sphere of life, in every sphere of life, in our traditional setting. So when this whole CPP Wahala started first, I was one person of strong conviction that the old man is only waiting for Ure and Mr. Cummings to clash it small, then he will come and say, "Gentlemen, you did this thing." But it dragged on for 6 months, and then the case even went to court, and that the old man will have to go to was subpoenaed, and he agreed to the subpoena to go to explain what he knows. And to make matters worse, for him to even deny Mr. Cummings that he had known for over 40 years, and that shocked me. I was like, no, wait. So did the old man betray my trust? How was I thinking the wrong way? So when Chima said that the old man failed to play that elderly role, then I want to add my voice to that. And I believe the reason is that it could be two reasons. I'm not right and I'm not wrong. It could be two reasons. The first reason could be that since he has interest in the same thing that Mr. Cummings have interest in, he saw that lawsuit as a perfect occasion to get Mr. Cummings out of the way for him to have an easy ride. That's my first conspiracy theory. The second one could be that the old man just lacked that leadership ability to be able to make peace among people. Let me tell you, one of the qualities of a leader is your ability to be able to see things far ahead and try to stop it if it is a bad thing, or if it is a good thing, to try to nurture it. So it could be one of these two reasons that the old man either lack that leadership ability, he's not a visionary, or that the old man had interest, or he has interest in the presidency like Mr. Cummings. And so when he saw that, it was clear from the start that Benuna Ure and Memli Kanga, the other two members of the CPP, were in favor of him. So in any case, they wouldn't have done anything against him. So if one of them took Mr. Cummings to court, automatically he will have to back that person, and which he did. So he lacked leadership ability right there. He's not a visionary. He like Henry Costa said, he doesn't have any fresh idea. This long-term, political idea where you got to get rid of your enemy or your political enemy, so to speak. So that's why he was exercising. But I think while the woman is on his way, and we understand that he's going to America, even though they say the trip was planned long time ago, but he's going to America and it coincides with him being sick. We hope that even though his people denied that he was not sick, but everybody could clearly see that he was not well. Also, maybe the eyes of the rest of the citizens who are not UP supporters cannot see good, but only UP supporters can see good. So maybe we're in error. Probably we're in error. But as
But
he's
for
on his
me, I
as
just
he's on his way to wherever he's going, we want to pray for him, and we hope that he will come back, because we don't want to have a situation where sedition, or where United Party people can say, "Oh, if it were not the other way around, we would have won you." But this so thing happened around me, we win. Yeah,
yeah, good competition, But
yeah.
the thing too is like for me, reason why I'm saying that, let him go get his, medical help or, go and visit Partizan. But after that, I have a lot of questions and things I would like to discuss because, as a former VP for 12 years, certain things I wish, certain measurement one should have put in place, but let him go get help. And we wish, like you said, we wish and pray everything goes well. But then when he come back, then we'll take it from there. Because, for me, I have many questions concerning, because we see not only just the former VP, like, the Samuel Twe. I mean, CDC is in power now, in just okay, I don't want to use the word because car accident are they are fatal, but you're trying to tell me there's no hospital in your own country for so but we'll take that when the VP gets back. So but for me, like I said, as a Liberian woman, has a daughter, is this thing where like we said, when the elder is sick, we wait, let everything go, and then you come back, we got some questions to ask. And for me,
I see
I do have questions to ask. And that is something I will, but right now,
Wait, why are you feeling so sorry or so much in sympathy with the VP? Because the reason I'm asking that question, hey, people say the man is not sick. So why are we,
no, but
the ordinary people?
I mean
We the ordinary people, why
don't
are we
believe
thinking that
that.
when the people who are within say he's not sick, that they have to even put him
No,
on
don't
camera
believe that.
and they have to drag him to
Yeah.
an endorsement program where when he got up, you could see 4 people rushing to him, pretending that they want to shake him. Now they're already holding him. I mean, I saw
And
the video. I look at that video over and
yeah,
over. That's my own opinion. I
yeah.
mean,
And that's the sad thing. Sorry for cutting you, but that's the sad thing. That's because for me, as a daughter, I wouldn't want, nobody to put my father or my mother through that. So for me, seeing that, that's why I'm saying that, you know what? I will hold my heart, I will hold my peace for till the VP comes back, because just praying, that he gets up, gets well, get the best treatment. But the thing is, I seen all that, and if any Liberian with a functioning, mind would think that the old man is not ill, then that person is not nice. That person is not, they don't care for the old man. And there is nothing wrong with he being ill. I mean, he didn't just wake
anybody
up
can
one
get
day and
sick.
say, "Oh, I want to be sick." No. Things happen. Like me and you and Paul today, we're here tomorrow. Something might happen, So, but I don't think Liberians, even in and out of Liberia, think that the old man is not sick. The old man, he's
No,
ill,
see,
and he
but
needs
the
medical.
for me, the problem, Paul will come in, but for me, the problem is that when his people pretend that he's not sick and they want to convince us. I mean, you got 5 million people in the country. United Party say, okay, they say they have 450,000 voters, so that the people who love him or who will defend him. Okay, so subtract 450,000, which is half of a million, and we get 5 million people. So the rest of the 350,000 people, 3,500,000 people cannot see. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Yeah. that this, I mean, we also, but again, I've heard people talking about, oh, why his children they can't talk. It's in the interest of the children, because what they're doing to the old man is that they're trying to promote him, they're trying to push him to the presidency. So who want a father to be president and you be called first family? So whether they drag an old man body in the street and whatever, as long as he becomes president, the children they like it. Because I know if this woman was now wanting to be president and somebody was treating him in some kind of way, people will talk. The woman get family. Why? When I see other people fighting, oh, why the children? You think you love him with the children, but the children got interest. They know that they want their father to be president. They make a big son that works in the government. They make a very big son that works in the government presently. So you think you can get more? So for me, I will not have sympathy on somebody who's, I mean, no, we all human beings. I can get sick tomorrow. And if you want to have sympathy on me, fine, good. If you don't want to, good.
But do you believe that? Okay, Jennifer, let me ask this question. Sorry for interrupting you, because I know the age I'm in now, my mother is still alive. Years back when I was in my 20s, my 30s, my mother had certain, I mean, she still do have control because I'm the daughter, but certain things she would tell me, I would, about. But now it's like the other way around, even though she,
have to take care of her.
Yeah, it's me, certain things. I'm like, oh, Gladys, no, don't do that one. She said, okay. I'm like, oh, Gladys, go there. I mean, of course she's stubborn. She's stubborn, just like me. But the thing is that certain things, because when a parent is aging, certain things, they realize that, okay, even
but listen to the point I made. It's in the interest of the children. They want their father to be president. So
exactly, Linfa, that's what I was coming to, because that's what I'm saying. That I feel sorry for the papa, because you know what? I feel sorry for the former VP, because here is a man who, you understand? Yes, I'm not saying he don't want to be president too, but if you will ask him, in his own private domain, he would say, I want rest. So that's why for me, I feel sorry for him, because you see his children, and everybody else just pushing this man who, we don't know how, okay, we don't know tomorrow. So that's where now this sympathy I'm feeling, that's where it's coming from. But it's not from a political place. I'm like, oh, let just let the UP people trash Mr. Cummings. But I really do. My heart goes out to the former vice president. Like you're saying, when I watched the video, you understand, it's like when he stood up, he had to this whole pretending, trying to make it say, the other four, it wasn't a man who was taking firm step, months or last year. So this is where my sympathy comes from, because I'm like, why are these people doing this?
I think let dropping.
I really like the way Orita putting this. It's so nice. The people that get a man say he's wealth and people were lying on him. They even went to the extent by going behind Lima Boy by abusing her, say she's lying and put why she making said allegation. In the old man's speech yesterday, he said even when mosquito something, people will say this. It means he's 100% well. Henry Foster from day one appear on Spoon say, oh, he just walked in for a minor record. So they have told us that he came out yesterday, he spoke his mind and he's bounced back. He welcomed people in his party. So as taken as a face value, he is well.
So we're treating
now, so something I want to pick on. Y'all talk about children. There's something in the Bible that say once a man, twice a child. So you can be baby today. When you get old, you turn baby again. Then when born, the children will look after them. When we start getting old, the children look after us. If the family fail to take responsibility and the party decide to say, oh no, everything is okay, we're not inside. Our own duty is just to follow and listen to what they say, and then we run with it. So I would take it as he went in for a minor checkup, he came back and he's live and kicking, and that is, we say, thank God for that. If he going for further treatment or further checkup, that is great. So now we have a competition for 2023. And that's how I see it.
So
See,
all of the competitors should be treated the same way.
the same way, because they say he's okay. So from the day I heard the news, I felt bad because I know him personally. So Uncle Joe is well, is bounced back.
People with 2 feet playing that football game. Then they want for American there. When they say move, he say no, my man. All right. So you're playing, you're
Yeah.
present man.
So the game is on, and I'm happy Uncle Joe is back. To be honest, so now I'll be lucky. You asked a question earlier. What make you excited today? And I said I'm looking at Liberia to get rid of the bar government. So now, since Uncle Joe has bounced back, I'll be looking forward to the debate. How they're going to transform the country? What are the message he going to say? How he going to create jobs? Build, take the young children from poverty. These are the kind of debate I want us to really engage these people. Let them tell us how they're going to transform Liberia. We know my own friend, George Weah, has failed the country. There's no other way that he will go to a debate. He never went to a debate. So these two key players, in fact, there are three. Terwon Gonglo is there. So let them tell us how they're going to transform Liberia. What kind of Liberia that we all talking about? We want our Liberia to be there Rwanda. We want our Liberia to be there Ghana. Let them tell us how they're going to take this Liberia to that next level. Nothing about because there's one popular we carry him is resolved. None of that nonsense. We want them to debate
Liberia
the
is
issue.
Liberia is, sorry for cutting you, Paul. Liberia is the only country that practices democracy and they reward people position, for long service or for being popular. There is no democracy in the world that will. I know how do we call that? I'm still trying to find a word for that type of democracy. But for you, our viewers, we'd like to
I
say
like
thank
you,
you.
democracy. You do
Yeah.
nothing for me, I like you.
Yeah, I like
You
you.
do nothing for me, but when you go to the entertainment spot, plenty people can be around you. That's why I'm looking for you.
Yeah,
But I'm looking, I don't know what
we
you
like it, man. And the United Partisans. And so look, let me tell you, Liberia we got big problem. When Georgia people do it, we talk. They say the Georgia people say anybody talk to Georgia about Joshua, they say, oh, you're hating man. As long as you're not in hate him, then you hate him. The
No,
United
you
Party
hit the
people,
boy.
yeah, the United Party people have picked on the same pattern. By the time you post on, they say you're haters. So
no, this people,
are we voting our leaders because we love them based on love instead of love democracy? I don't
And,
understand.
for me,
Linford, sorry,
honestly,
Rita. Linford, the reason being, you see, United Party and the CDC. These people have been going up and down for many years with they have bad propagandists that and they take over the media institution in Liberia. So because our people are gullible, they can say anything that will sink in people's ear and they will run with it. And this is where ANC falls short by not capitalizing on the early stage by engaging the public by using radio station. And those two people, anything they say, they will say, oh, it resolved. It calls some little boss setting color to say, oh, this person is resolved. But until they feel the hit now, that war resolved, it kind of go the other way because the young children at the time when you say George Weah is resolved. It's resolved. So when the fan hate you now, there is no longer resolve. So I'm looking forward to them having a proper debate. And I'm going back to the four estate that I found that they are so compromised that they will not be able to push the issue that these people should come up and tell the Liberian which level they want to take Liberia. That's what we should be pushing for. Orita, sorry for cutting you off.
no problem, Paul. What I was, what I was about to say is the fact that it's just this feeling. I mean, I feel it with through every vein in my body, every cell of my body that October of this year, Liberians back home, they will vote for themselves, their children, and their family, and not leaders. And I know even when I say this, even my own mother, she's not politically, active. She tell me, she said, sit down there, Liberian people who they don't love themselves. Then I always say, I said, Gladys, no, Gladys, this time around, because the suffering Liberian people are going through. And one thing I want to make clear, the suffering is not just the CDC government, but I mean like decade after decade where the normal Liberian, like the ordinary Liberian, can't even afford, basic stuff. And now you have somebody, and it's not just because, I prefer Mr. Cummings, but we go up and come down. Mr. Cummings have what it takes for our country to develop. I mean, the leadership shield, has a leader. I'm not saying only him or ANC, but every Liberian, like he said, that umbrella, that bow he keep talking about, every one of us have to put hands together. So this election, every day I wake up, I look up to God and pray. I say, Father, I don't see Liberians daytime around saying, oh yeah, we'll vote for somebody because the person been in government for 40 years, but the person been there. What did the person not do?
Yeah, that is what we call reward democracy.
Oh yeah, the person was there. The person did this, and to this day, we are, we are benefiting. Our children are benefiting, or we've been benefiting, and we still benefiting. So for me, or you say that, oh yeah, we put this person in because the person won, a postcard, and then got international connection, because the person was a footballer, and they are living there now. For once, I think we all saying the same thing. For once now, I strongly believe that Liberians this October 2023, in this modern day, they will vote for themselves. Fathers will vote for themselves. Father will vote for their children. Fathers will vote for their family. And father will vote because they are the head of the family. And mothers will vote for their teenage daughters who don't have to go and do certain things just to bring money home. I strongly believe that. So for me, that's why when people say that, oh, the you people, oh, we got numbers, we got this. But I think this time around, Liberians were not going to say, oh, yeah, because like I said earlier, the 40-year, oh, yeah, we saw you being just putting small dust, small quota on dust road. Oh, being real, no. Liberians will vote for themselves. They will vote for somebody who is, I know under your leadership, if my husband go to work, I go to work, we'll get paid. Right. And with that salary, we'll put our children through school. We will provide for our family. And that person is Mr. Cummings.
That's it, Liberia, that we envisage. I think we have to transition. Our time is fast spent. But before we do that, Paul, will you, Jima, will you want to tell us a little bit about the internet radio, and then after that, Orita will be coming to you to tell us about Mr. Cummings' pending visit to the Scandinavia. So, Jima, tell us about the internet radio, because sometimes people are wondering if they can only follow us here.
Thank you very much, Linford. If you just join us, we also come through to you we come to you through internet radio stream. We are online, the Button Library Radio. We'll put a link up here. If you follow us, you can catch us. If you're at work, you're in a place you don't want to watch the video, you want to watch a movie, you can also catch us on the radio. You can listen to the audio. The link is there. It's 247 Radio. Anytime you come online, you can also listen to us. And through this way, the only thing, you may not be able to ask questions, but you can listen to us. But if you want to have questions, you can always come on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, to follow us up every Tuesday and Friday. The line is there. We're going to drop the line in, and you can able to link up, and you can get it every time, wherever you want to. It's 247. It's the Button Library Radio.
Okay, good. Orita, we understand Mr. Cummings was in Germany in July last year. Oh wow, 2022 is last year now. In July last year, and then he's coming again. This time not to Germany, but right in our own backyard, in my backyard, but right in front of your front door. So tell us a little bit about this program.
This program, it's not just Mr. Cummings coming to Sweden. Mr. Cummings is coming to the Scandinavia, and this trip will symbolize, somebody who have a desire to lead Liberians And when I mean Liberians, Liberian the diaspora and on ground. And all my years here in, in Sweden, because I came after, the first war, I've never experienced a leader who wants to lead Liberia coming to the Scandinavia. They always find a way to, to go America. That's where, because they always make it seem like, that's where, okay, it's factual. That's where a lot of, the Liberian diaspora live. But times are changing now. And if you look at the Scandinavian country, they've been very active when it, from a developmental perspective, active in the development of Liberia before the war, during the war, and after the war. And the fact that Liberians living in Scandinavia, we contribute. So I find it, suitable that Mr. Cummings will come so we can ask our question. And the thing is that I tell people, everybody I've been contacting, it's not the fact that Mr. Cummings coming and say like, oh yeah, okay, change your mind. But Liberians here so they can ask their questions, so they can meet Mr. Cummings, face to face and form their own opinion, form their own opinion, get to know the person. Because I always tell people, I'm like, the way when I'm speaking, when I'm like promoting Mr. Cummings, the passion I put in it, it's not just because, oh, I like him. It's because like when you get to meet him, 15 minutes, you will know that, okay, this person really wants, to see organic change in our country. So this, Mr. Cummings coming, is for the Scandinavia. And I contacted the Liberian organization in Denmark, and we have, you, Linfa, and our sister Dale, in Norway, contacting other people. And then I reached out to Liberians here, the LSA, which is the Liberian Swedish Association in Sweden. I reached out to them, and everybody, in Sweden, I mean, I'm still reaching out to people because I tell people that, what, it's better you come than somebody come and tell you, say, oh, call me this, call me that. Come and ask your question. And don't be afraid to ask your question. Because I tell people, I say, because Mr. Cummings coming, when he becomes president, then together, because over here, we need, Liberia need, Liberian in Scandinavia, we need to establish, fruitful and structural relationship with our, with our country back home, because a lot of stuff, we don't have an embassy. I mean, a lot of stuff. So
that's right.
Mr. Cummings coming here to hear some of these things, people ask their question. And the boys, people saw on the flyer, the 15th, that's when, the event will take place, so yeah.
We definitely we're going to bring you the organizers and everybody else that we're working with. We'll bring you guys here when the time is approaching, because we understand it's going to be in April. Right now we're in January, so we still have the 3 months, make it 3 months. But sometimes in February or March, Liberian people, they couldn't forget. You will tell them anything today, yeah. After 1 or 2 days, they forget. They say, oh, that thing you told me a long time, and I forget. So, but we'll continue to play with it. But when the time is approaching, we'll have a whole segment on the show for that, and you guys will explain to us how the preparations are going. Some of all let to eat, so you'll tell us the kind of food you're making. Don't mind me, I'm doing something there for a while. I get huge appetite. I get huge appetite. So we'll bring your team, you and your team here, and then you will have a whole session on the show. But let's encourage our viewers again. Let me put that link for the Jima. I saw it. Did you take it away? The Borderline radio link. Okay, I think this one. So this is a radio link here. If you just click on it, you go just put what you see there, put it on in your browser and click on it. You'll be live with us. Just how you're watching us, and then you can either be working with a headphone in your ear and you listen to us live. And share the video. And we thank you for sticking with us. Those of you who are with us all the time, Merula, Mo, and our own sister Miata Takina. And Miata, don't forget, I promise to reach out to you to do a pellet session. You and I will do the pellet session. I know, I think I'll say some words and you might correct me. But we'll discuss that. Maybe you'll give us 5 minutes of your time one day. But let's transition, guys. The next thing we're going to talk about is our neighbors, our friends, also our fellow competitors, the Unity Party folks. In recent times, there have been barrage of attacks on ANC and its Standard Bearer, Mr. Alexander Cummings, by Unity Party supporters or Mr. Boakai supporters. Because some of these people are only supporting Mr. Boakai, they are not Unity Party members. Okay? I've heard a lot of them say that. But in recent time, as far as my memory can serve me, maybe the period leading after the case was dropped from the court, up to October, November, December, there wasn't this much aggression, But now, in recent time, the aggression has increased. They attack Mr. Cummings, they call him names, and don't dare be an ANC supporter and you appear on any of the Unity Party people platform. Oh no, they will destroy you, run away, and some of them are vowing that they don't want peace. They don't want to hear anything about peace. They will go after ANC people. But the question here that I want to ask is it healthy for an opposition unity, or does this attack or these attacks have the propensity to undermine anything like maybe unity among the opposition or support for one opposition party in case there be any runoff? Guys, this is an open question to anybody. And even also, this question goes out to our viewers. So we're going to put our telephone number here so you can call us if you think this barrage of attacks, this wave of constant attack has any means of undermining unity within the opposition general. I mean, not coming together to form one group like the CPP do, but that unity where if one group go against the ruling party, the other people can support. So the numbers are here. You can call us on +4799450882 +4799450882 and also +447534403475 +44 that's +447534403475 and 99457 or 994508882. Call us and we can discuss. So let me start with Jima had not talked for a while. He's been taking breath. So Jima, what do you think? We should start attacking each other or it will undermine?
Yeah, thank you, Lynn. I think the issue is not with the partisan. This has been a culture in Liberia where the political, the aspirants, whatever whatever leadership is not encouraging this kind of patriotism for the country interests should be the key, most important thing for any political party, instead of political supporters going after each other. So it's like patriotism is lacking right there, nationalism is lacking right there. What we should tell our supporters is Liberia first. This is our manifesto. How do we push them instead of going after each other? So this is not common in ANC. If you see ANC people going after other political parties, like because it's so rampant that they can't stop anymore, they just take off the gloves and start fighting back. But I think it has a fundamental issue here. It has to come from the top. That's what I believe. So whether the issue you're talking about is something healthy, it's not healthy at all, to answer your question directly. But what I can say is the political leaders need to tell their supporters what they need to do. Is the key thing is how do we push Liberia forward? We can argue. I keep saying over on the phone, on this platform, that we need to argue, disagree, and agree as grown-ups on issues while we're sitting drinking tea or having our beer. We can disagree and agree and go tomorrow and do something, but we don't do that. In Liberia, they call gutter politics. You just go behind somebody for no reason, make up something, Look at the gay story behind Mr. Cummings. This is a common example, and nobody, no other party is disputing that issue, and they're pushing it. The guy made it up. He made that gay stuff up. We all know that, and other political opponent or political group, our neighbors are taking it as a serious case. It's all over the place. So what I'm saying here is it has a fundamental issue. It's not the supporter. So the top need to tell the supporter it's not about dueling in personalities. It's about pushing the country agenda. What the party agenda is. What do we stand for as a party for the country? What we benefit from it. Let's stop the gutter politics. Going after each other, going to gutter, digging to something. It's not making up something. Tarnishing one another repetition. This is what. So it's gone down to other. It's just something rampant. It has become the customary in Liberia, where we go after each other, and at the end of the day, we don't friend anymore. And here in the West, we live in the West. You don't see political parties, supporters doing that here. They go after policies. They don't do it in personality. They go after policy, party manifestos. What they got for the country. But in our part of our country, we go for our political leaders. We go for our common enemy. We insult each other. This is the situation. So our leaders, political leaders, and those in authority need to tell them that's not the point. That's if we have Liberia at heart or the country we want to support, we need to tell our supporters, our fans, our admirers, our sympathizers, we should follow policy. We should argue on policy points. We should argue on manifesto points. We should. This if Liberia is all we deserve. We should. We want. This is what we should do. And forget about hating each other. All this nonsense going around here about the gay thing, that one, other stuff, all the crap. It's Dutch Englishman says shite. This I can just scrap it.
Okay.
Don't speak Dutch or Jamal.
Englishman says shite. That's what they call it.
I know. No, I'm just joking.
It's something they call it shite.
I know. Another thing, I agree with Jamal, and this is one thing I would say. One thing I learned these past almost 6 years, when it comes to I know people are gonna someone will crucify me. I don't like sedition. No, I don't hate them, but they're my opponents. But the thing is, the difference with sedition and UP, sedition, they will cause a man will do this. But UP, they will take the big rock. Their plan is to injure you, even if they can bust your eye. And they will throw that rock. After throwing that rock, they will hide their hands. And then when people come and ask, and you be like, oh, what are you doing? Then they play the injury you have never seen, So I always refer to UP, not sedition. UP people has, they would throw rocks, hide their hand, and play wolves, and cry wolves. So, and people like that, to be honest, you see the Costa, okay, I don't want to label all UP people because they got some good people that I know personally too. But the thing is that I reached a point where, last year, I'm like, and for me, that's something, it's not, Swedish man sometimes call it a labi, it's not, that's not how it's supposed to be because, like I said, sedition, they will look at you before, when Joshua, sedition, you used to cost people my one, but cost my man. I with Prophet Key. I don't even take that. But sedition, they were costing, they were standing there and say, yes, I said it. But UP, they are a different kind of breed. So that's why I feel like, those people, because it's like, it's not that they are smart. No, don't miss it. It's not that they are smart, but they're not in touch, with facts. They don't know how to really, go battle, where you would sit and say, yeah, at least woman to woman, or man to man, So people like that, I just feel like they just stick to our debate because they have tried everything they do. I understand, but their way of their own propaganda is like Jamal said, it's like they would just find things, and pin on somebody. And for me, I just feel like that is not normal. I'm sorry, people always say, oh, you don't know politics in Liberia. That thing is not politics. That is, bunch of narcissistic people who don't even know, like, they are so afraid of organic competition that they don't even believe in themselves. Because I'm here, I'm a woman. I'm on this panel with men. But if there is something, a debate, as long as I know that, okay, you know what? This is how I feel and see it, I will debate my issue, even if we have to go back and forth. But I'm not going to go and play again. Oh, a woman, oh, the three against me. Because I chose to go in a debate with men. But the fact is that even though a lot of them, they say they're educated, but it's like, in a normal functioning society, it's like, if you say you're educated and the other person says they're educated and both of you want a job, both of you get an interview, sit, make the person who is interviewing you to want you over the person. But they don't do that. A lot of them, that's why you see these things. They always want to take the short way. They all want to take the short way. And I just reach a point, I'm like, no, people like that, you cannot, waste. I want to fight opponents that, was all, go back and forth the bigger, that you will stay in from me, who will say, we'll finish, and I say, yeah, okay, But how you throw rock, then you go higher hand, then you crying. No, I can't, no. So for me, I will keep pushing my political leader because, and we pushing Mr. Cummings, it's like, Mr. Cummings have like his Swedish.
Yeah, but the question is, the kind of thing they're doing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You think it will undermine unity in the future? Where, let's say, the same unity party, they go, in the worst case scenario, they go second round with George Weah. You think after causing Mr. Cummings lie on him and do all these things, you think they can't stand in front of him and say can't support us?
To be honest, I'm at a place now where, because I went to Liberia the end of like 2018. I saw how my country was. I was there last year. I go in this year. I won't vote because I want to see changes. So for me, if we reach that place, I will put Liberia first. That's my honest answer. I will put Liberia first because the thing is that we all want what's best for Liberia. So for me, it's like my feeling, or however I understand see you as a human being. No, I love Liberia more than my opinion of you. So I will choose Liberia.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know if I answered the question, but that's my honest.
No. I think you satisfy my anxiety. Okay. Once again, we're rolling the number. They're all WhatsApp numbers, so you can call us wherever you are. The first one is +47 99 450 882 +47 99 450 882. And the second one is +44 75 3440 475. Once again, 44 75 3440 3475. And the third one is +44 742 477 2731. Okay, so all three of these numbers, you can reach us on it, and then we can have conversation. We need your input, you are viewers, and thanks for being there. Paul, this great question. The way people causing did not get aggressive, and I was somewhere today, all of them, they say they want peace, they want fight, they want to fight because it can make them happy. They get a number. And we can't, ANC people get a number, so they will fight, they will cause Mr. Cummings. And, it's not only coming from the foot soldiers, the one that were bare for data and put on their phone, then they cause for a few minutes, then it blow up. But I listened to Josh Lobo, and he said, simply because CDC people and ANC people talk about Mr. Joseph Boakai being sick. So they will go after Mr. Cummings and call him gay because they can have a homosexual ruling their country. George Lobo, if you have the opportunity to go to his program after yesterday, not yesterday, but after yesterday, okay, and he had one Dwalu on the show with him, okay, and Dwalu was even trying to put him on track. He said no, he will go. Asif Atuba wanted to come on the show. He said no. Normally, according to him, they can send that link to Asif Atuba. Asif Atuba wanted to come. He said no because he had put in his mind. I'm talking about George Lobo. He had put in his mind that he will go after Mr. Cummings. Now, so Jima, the question here is, with this trend that they are taking, do you foresee any opposition unity, or do you see any opposition unity? I mean, any of the opposition going to the other one to bear for support if there is any situation where they will go one-on-one with President Weah?
I think Paul is Paul time to talk.
Okay, Jima, why you see, Jima, I know your trick. You want wait and hear what Paul will say. Paul, you go.
I can speak.
Okay.
Paul,
Then for
Yeah.
I don't know why we beat it around the bush. There will be no opposition unity, and that is the fact. From the get-go, people
Yeah, but Paul,
listen now.
you talk. No, you talk. But let me just remind you. I just want to remind you of something. They say in politics there's no permanent enemy and no permanent friend. But you can go now.
Yeah, there's no in this one.
Mm-hmm.
There's permanent enemy. To be honest, from the get-go,
Who is the enemy here?
UP is the enemy to the entire process, to all of the opposition.
Okay, so what if the UP come and say let's make peace?
They're not going to do it because I'm telling you, from
What if? Yeah, what
they're
if
not
they
going to
do
do
it?
it. That one say there's
You can
no
talk for all
if.
you people partisans, Paul.
I
Because
said
you don't know some of
they're
them.
not
Because
going
the
to
reason I'm asking is let's put all the cards on the table. Let's put the bad one and the good ones there.
Yeah, but listen, no.
listen. Let
Let
me
Paul
finish
speak.
my
Let Paul
thought.
speak.
You can
Okay, go
I
ahead. No,
say it
I'm
will
not
not
really stopping
happen.
Paul. I'm not really stopping you, Paul. But what I'm doing, I'm just guiding you as you go.
No, but the fact is, it comes from the higher up. It from day one that the standard bearer of UP said Mr. Cummings was the cause that he didn't become president. That way it started from day one. And UP people, they hold that in their heart. Not all of them, not the sensible one who hold it in their heart, but majority of them hold that. Today they will tell you. I listened to Sekou Kona program yesterday. He had this call-in thing. He had in Liberia people calling. And he said, if for opposition unity, if election were held today, who would be your first and second choice? All the UP people that call in, if that UP, no one else, they're not waiting to go into no gathering with anyone. It have to be there. If not, then they will stay home. So I'm seeing this opposition unity is not going to happen. One classic example, look at the Liberty Party. Liberty Party is having crisis. They've gone to the Supreme Court twice. Now, most ability have called for peace. The other people said no, they're going to the full bench. Are you talking about opposition unity now? They're still dragging somebody to Supreme Court. You think there will be opposition unity? How many months we have left? That's not going to happen. Darius DeLong, who support the Unity Party, went on the real low few weeks ago. He said Mr. Cummings called him, and why is he calling him? He make it all a big thing that why should he call me like Mr. Cummings looking for favor? As long as they finish building that in them, there will be no opposition unity. And this is, you're looking at something playing ahead of you, you're seeing it. Mr. Cummings advised his team not to go after Omer Boakai because he's ill. The man were ill, people talking about a Unity Party started the attack. Unity Party have been seized by the ALP. And this is what happened. I'll put this up for you to look at this. That from Teda Ure, the think tank leader of the Unity Party, calling ANC members the attack dogs. That one, George Lobo were on. They just go this. Your leader said you shouldn't go for them, but they on the rampage of going, and you think that people will say there'll be opposition unity. If people made a plain blank, it's not going to happen. They're telling you if now Omer Boakai is no one else. and you talking about opposition unity, I cannot see that happening. And that's my opinion. I can't see it happening because if they're waiting by now, they will say, let's cease fire, let's see how we can work together. There haven't been the censor, is something wrong with it. They have not come together to talk about that. The voter registration is delayed. Where is the opposition unity in here? They're not willing. If it's not them, it's no one else. And I hold my peace.
Okay, let Chima come in, and after Chima come in, I'll drop my opinion too.
Listen, we said to you earlier today, like it, what is happening to us right now. It was a case of I mean, what happened to Joe Boakai right now? It was a case of Mr. Comey. He will have not be around because it's something ingrained in the Labour Unity Party people. It's very ingrained in them. They just believe that they are the big elephant in the house. That's what they believe. The big white elephant in the house. If it's not there, nobody else. Simple and plain. And follow other things, man. Look, listen. The thing about the gay thing George was speaking about, it's like he knows very well. Like when you say about a gay in Liberia, it's just like when you're calling somebody in the West a pedophile. It's a serious crime. So when we carry the gay thing in Liberia, it will make a big thing. And Liberians are picking on it without even justifying what they mean by this. So those are things that they're working on. If you see, we push the gay thing, and I'm just said to you a few minutes ago, people like Joe Boakai, he's not stopping. He never stopped Costa from insulting Mr. Cummings. Never. He saw that for all the time. Nobody. And show me somebody in the unit in the CANC that have been insulting Joe Boakai like how Costa have been doing it against Mr. Cummings.
Thank you.
Nobody. But you will see somebody in Unity Party doing it against Mr. Cummings, and Joe Boakai sit and look at it and say, okay, that's how it is. That's the go-to politics in Liberia. So you talk about party unity. It's not going to work in a sense like, let's compete in a fair play. That's what we are saying here. We all want the top job. Let's do honest, let's put Liberian first, start attacking dueling personalities and go for the job. If the last best team win and forget about attacking each other. But the unity is a dream. It's wishful thinking right now, brother, that we're going to have. It's a wishful thinking for the fact that if we, at this time, 10 months to go, you talk about unity, when the old man is not even campaigning, he's still going to so they kind of come off lacking something, saying that he's going for treatment. You had a planned trip in America. He has not 10 months. You have not even done any campaign. Nothing's going on. And now you're telling me that the state can win. They just don't know what in their head. They're delusional at the moment. They don't know what is going on. What is going on right now? They need to get out and be realistic. And then number of numbers, you have the number, it's just all bogus. There would not be any unity among the oppositions. What we need to do, I will tell you what we need to do, my brother. We need to respect each other, just draw the line and do the right thing and present your manifesto, convince the Liberian voters and forget attacking each other and present the best manifesto and show that what can you do. Convince the Liberians that you can deliver for them. That's all we need to do. Opposition unity is a dream. It's not going to work. It's a wishful thinking. I can tell you straight up. It's not going to work because those people are laid that framework.
Even to the point where if one opposition party goes against the ruling party,
exactly. That's where I wanted to come.
The rest of them will not go.
That's where I don't think not unity before. Sorry, Jamal.
Go on.
The thing is, we gotta be very specific. When we're talking about this unity,
that's
not unity. For me, I don't want Mr. Cummings to go second to nobody, and that's something Mr. Cummings has ensured us. The thing is, not unity before October, but the thing is that everybody going on their own ticket, and then if it's another opposition leader against where. That's the kind of, for me, the unity I'm talking about, because that's when I'm going to put Liberia first. And I won't even, look at the logo.
I agree. Bob, Linfa, I know you're going to come in. What we try to do, the ANC seems to look like compromising. They will manage to go and look. It happened in 2017 when Mr. Cummings, after he did not tell anybody who to vote for because the way he was treated in the election. Now, look at this, what's happening. We should see we should have the foundation where we can respect each other positions and go for as separate parties and see after second round. If you go for second round off, we'll know who to align with. There where political backing come in. Yeah, political backing comes in where you go for the round off comes in. But now look at what's happening right now. Mr. Cummings is giving all reason. If you talk about Abraham's down the love being called upon. Mr. Cummings is trying to extend the olive branch to people. That's the thing he's doing. Somebody coming out to say, "Oh yeah, why he's calling me for this?" The one thing people don't get Mr. Cummings here. It's not about him.
Nope.
I said it over here. Mr. Cummings can go and live his life for the next 20 years. He's not going to worry about Liberia. He will live forever. Even he will enjoy his life. He's the only one that know that if you look at him, you know what he's doing. He will go and live a life. He worries about because he's desperate. He won't fix that country. He can only fix that country when he's at the top because you make the decision. So the question, the point here is, my brother, is the party that should encourage us to lead that foundation when it comes to run up, where we can work together as an opposition to make we are one-time president, like the Unity Party, other parties. Look what happened in the We Are Tired rally.
Thank you.
You saw that. Nobody, they even support. They were all there against undermine and making sure that it fails. We look at the 70,000 money missing issue. They play around it. They want to score political point. You see what they're talking about. So they are not giving. Tell me, ANC, what have we done? ANC that shows that we are not showing a chance of uniting the party. We're doing our best possible. Mr. Kumi did not go after them after you were throwing in court for 5 months. He did not do anything wrong. He didn't go after. He just considered them to treat special treat to old man when you see his sick bed. Listen, what thing we didn't do, and they're playing the gay thing, Mr. Kumi, is old man is a health risk. He's a health risk. He can't run that country. And look at my sister saying here today, we should play, we should let the old man say, we pray. Yeah, we all understand.
Yeah, let him just get rest.
Listen, come here. Let me be honest here. The old man is sick. He's sick. Liberia does not belong to the generation. Paul, I think you could play a video where we have Paul Biya embarrassing himself in the African summit. This is what we're talking about age thing here. We keep playing, you want to be sympathetic to people who want to run our country. You put our country in the hand of somebody that will now, at some point, you'll be incapacitated. Then you're telling me that we should be sympathetic, we won't be Liberian, or the old man say something. Yo, please stop that thing. Let old man go and enjoy his retirement. Let him get out of the way. Let the young people you come back to somebody was talking about Clarence money, about which people like after coming is now people like that we can, but those are young generation talking. But when young people, the man does not even know, doesn't even write his own email. Doesn't have his own computer. They talking about you want to run the generation.
The other than the people are holding a smartphone.
Sometimes
I'm laughing.
You see what I'm talking about? We are talking about generation. Now, this is a generation want to put smart people thinking, and people will bring behind them to support this country. Julia was a disappointment. It's a bad news by himself. We thought he could help, but it's a bad news. But now, then you won't bring a generation to us that have lived in the 60s, 70s. They're not thinking straight anymore. And he's not even taking the lead. So the unity of opposition is a dream. It's wishful thinking. It's not real. It's not something feasible. So let's fight for that front as a separate political parties. Respect each other lines, and forget about dueling personality. Let's fight a clean battle. That's.
Oh, you got a video for Paul?
Yeah, I got a video. I just want to say something. What Jamal just. The fact is, there will not be opposition unity. The fact is, we have the fourth estate in Liberia that are classified to be a compromise because people will call them, will not call them to. If I call a radio station and talking nonsense about Joe Boakai and you know it's not true, that reporter will sit there, you just, okay, they encourage it. And that's what I'm saying. The fourth estate also compromise. They don't know what they're doing. And I will play this for you guys to see. The man is old. They say he's not sick, so it's time now that in the constitution they talk about health issue in the constitution before you run our country, and we can lay into that too. So I'm going to bring this video. All you guys will love it. Paul Biya, it seems to be like this 90-year-old man that's suffering for some reason. So as before you can float me, bring the video up.
No, bring the video. After that, I'll flow. I'll do the final closing on.
Okay. Give me a second.
Well, if you don't have it, then I can flow.
Flow. I come in. Flow.
Okay. Before I flow.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. Flow.
It looks like the president of Cameroon, Paul Biya, is suffering from memory loss. The man was at the US-Africa Summit last month, and he had no idea where he was or why he was there. I think he has dementia, and it happens to the best of us. Nobody is making fun of him. He will be 90 next month. He has lived a long life. Nobody is making fun of his health challenges. But those who surround the man clearly don't have the fear of God. I don't think they really care about the man. Otherwise, he would have stepped down a long time ago. The whole world doesn't need to see him being embarrassed. He's embarrassing himself and Cameroon on a world platform. It shouldn't be.
Pourquoi je suis en vedette? Ici. C'est qui tous ces gens qui sont là? Pourquoi je n'ai pas demandé ça? Est-ce qu'il y a des gens importants là?
Des ministres le président Kagame a parlé, il est parti, introduit.
Non.
Le monsieur vous a introduit. Il y avait un monsieur de groupe qui vous a introduit.
Je dois parler maintenant.
Vous restez assis, parlez assis. Vous pouvez parler assis, étant assis.
Ici?
Oui.
Pourquoi?
I mean, it's so sad. The man just sat there, he farted. He kept looking at the pamphlet in his hand for minutes. That is supposed to be his speech. Then he farted again in public. He put down his pamphlet. His aide came back to prompt him to speak.
Vous pouvez parler assis, étant assis.
Ici?
Oui.
Pourquoi? C'est moi. Il n'y a personne pour conduire les travaux.
This man has a wife. Chantal Bearer, the woman with the biggest hair, always with the biggest wig. 52-year-old Chantal Bearer. What were you looking at? You would think that the bigger the wig, the more brain somebody would have. You would think this woman would have the fear of God. Hey, Berolong. This woman is just using this man. And what happened to his children? We have talked about his children in the past. Is there not one of you that has the fear of God? You see your father like this. You cannot do family meeting. Until this is not right. You keep putting him out like that. What is so hard in the man stepping down? He clearly has no idea that he's president. It is the people around him that need to say enough is enough and ensure that he steps down. Did they not celebrate 40 years in power recently? No wonder he didn't show up to his own party. Is 40 years not enough? How can there not be one family member that would think they need to put an end to this public embarrassment? What is it with us in Africa?
What happened to us in Africa?
I have to step in. Now, you guys understand now why I say I feel sorry for what I said earlier, that I feel sorry for the former VP. I'm not saying he cannot say no, but the fact is that you got some people who they are so good at manipulating situation to their advantage, but they will manipulate the situation in a way where they will present it to the next person. Okay, without this, you will not reach. The only thing they keep putting here, the people, they love you. You've been you've been vice president, you've been in Liberian politics for 40 years, and for him, as a man too, even though his old age is, taking its course. The only thing that VP, this is just me assuming about. I mean, I think the only thing the VP had in his head is like, I gotta take care of my family. My children are depending on me. You understand? Everybody is depending on me. So, okay, what they are saying is, that's why I say I feel sorry for the papi, because, and I feel sorry for the papi, and the people around me are just so evil.
Rita, let me hold you up. I know. Listen. Let's be honest here and stop playing around. Is sorry for who is sorry for. The old man. Listen, sorry, sister. Let me tell you something. The old man, they just step aside. That's a fact. The old man need to go a chance. Don't be sorry for him. what we need to do, tell him and the people that tell
Maybe
him
he
the
don't
line.
want to run, but the
No,
people around forcing him. That's what
let's be honest here. The
because
old man need to step aside. We need to tell him. We need to tell him. People manipulating. He probably doesn't have his own mind. We need to tell him you have a health risk. We don't need you in that country. We don't want the situation probably be happening to that country where you can look what's happening right now. It will be like after he got into presidency. Consider he wins tomorrow. The old man will be in the hospital throughout until the first term finish. He will not be doing anything. And when you were with Ellen, he was sleeping throughout. You saw that. But why are we not saying that? He was sleeping throughout the 12 years. Now, one much about he got into 70 years. And we also have health issue. We all know the old man has a health issue. Then we're saying that we
I'm
should
not
do as a
debating that,
So
Jamal.
why can we?
I'm not
We're not sorry for
debating
him.
that.
We should
That
now
is
be
like
honest and tell him. We should now tell him. We need to tell him what the children are telling, because what I think Leif was saying here today, when you are part of the first family, every children want to enjoy. Yeah, we are fine. They got that immunity, they got that respect, they enjoy the country, that immunity. Fine. What we're talking about, they're looking for that. They want to use the old man together. We let to tell the old man that the country does not belong to you. You got other brains here. Step aside. You got a health issue. You can't control this animal. He's a health risk. The old man is a health risk. Simple as that.
Okay. Okay, guys. I think I've been very quiet for more than 20 minutes. Let me come in. But before I come in, let me just remind Sis Dolly of one thing. I just can't understand why some of you refuse to accept reality, especially Linford. Sis Dolly, you got to know, I'm a professional journalist. I've been playing around this thing for more than 30 years. I sit here and coordinate this show. I'm not an opinion maker. I should not be making the decision. I should not be the one saying anything. I should be getting the facts from people who are bringing on the show, including my panelists. That's why you see me asking them. Not that when I ask them, I don't know. If I was a panelist, if I was an interviewee on another show, I would give my opinion. But here I said that what I do here, my role here is to find out what you're thinking, what the next person is thinking. Then we all can discuss it. But if I take a position, if I say, okay, it's like this, so what will Rita say? So you want Rita to agree with me automatically or Paul? No, now that I do know what I'm doing, I've been playing around this. I've interviewed presidents. I've talked to people. I'm not boasting. Okay, I started this thing. I didn't jump into it. I got certificates. I was trained by the United States of America, USAID and RRR. Okay, so I'm not posting, but I just wanted to know. So when you see me saying this thing, I don't know. I appear on other shows. So my role is to get the fact from other people, let the public. I'm here to feed the public with information. And how do I do that? To ask the other people and then to find out what the public is thinking. So having said that, let me come to I know the reality is that, and that was when we were talking about unity. I brought in the George Lobo factor, right? I'm on almost go to all of the sites. Look at my Facebook page and see how many people calling me, how many people are arguing every day, how many people, all of you. Once you follow me, you know. Every minute I'm posting. You think I don't know? I know. I know the reality. But my job right here is to get the fact for the public to absorb. Now, I know that there can be no opposition unity. Several reasons. Primary among them is that the Unity Party has already blocked their own waterside road. We will come from the traditional background. The people, they can go to the waterside to draw water from the river. So that same waterside road where you can go to, if you cut down a big tree, you fall down it, you block your own way. Okay? Or if you go, you do different thing on it, you kakai on it, you block your own way, you will not go there. So the United Party people have blocked their own way by even pulling out of the CPP long time ago. That alone, it blocks any chances for unity. Any unity will preach will be by mouth, not deeply from the heart. Of late, we have been hearing unity partisans say that they will not, even today, up to today on the Costa show, they were saying, no, we will fight. That's what we want to do. We can unite. So I know that very well. But how many people will know it like me? For the sake of those people who do not know, so that's why we'll ask some of these funny questions. Now, Mr. Cummings is not a robot that they went into agreement, 4 of them. Then 3 of the other parties turned against him. He's not a robot. He got feeling like me and you. So I know that he will not sacrifice himself on a silver platter to be slaughtered. He will not go to the gallows and put his head in the rope and say, "You hang me." Okay? So there can be no opposition unity. They can work out something in the interest of the country. That is why everybody was talking about that. We know Joe Boakai do not like you Cummings. Benunayure do not like you Cummings. But for the sake of Liberia, if any of us go head to head with George Weah, who is a common enemy? You know, I always, anytime I get a parable, pause, I let get parable. There was this hunter in the town and they stole Uno in the town. Okay? And the stole Uno used to sell gunshots and other things. And the hunter used to buy the gunshot from him. Certain time came, the 2 of them fell off. They couldn't speak to each other. Then there came a time where wild animals entered the town. They started killing people. They started eating people up. So all the people were crying. You hunter, you get gun, then you allow the wild animal eating up. Why you can the man say, I get a gun, but no shot. They said, but why you can't go to the store owner to buy the gunshot? He said, I made my second thought. Then they went to the store owner, but man, you get gunshot, then the animal eating up, and then they get gun, no shot. He said, I made my second thought. So the people said, no, listen, for the sake of us in the town, you all go and talk, let the man buy a gunshot and go and kill the animal so we all can live. Because after they finish eating, maybe it might eat you, the store, or you get a gunshot, the animal might eat you. So they had to compromise some kind of way. Not that they really wanted to talk, but they had to compromise for the sake of their own life or the people in the town. So this is the situation where all the opposition politicians are now. You see it? So they can reach that consensus, that common consensus, say, no, listen, for the sake of the Liberian people, who we all fighting for, if one party goes head to head with George Weah, we all will put our weight behind it. This is the point from where I was asking this question. I was not asking the question because I want the people to come together like the CPP. No, so I don't want people to look at it that way. Or for people to think that I don't come with reality. No, I mean I don't come up to reality. No, I'm informed.
That's why I wanted us. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm informed. You see, so I hope that is laid to rest. Now, another the last question that I wanted for us to get discussed so we can close up this stuff is which will be very brief, is that should we encourage the Liberian people? Should we encourage the Liberian people? Or should Liberian people be told that all of the opposition parties, they may be at fault, but they want this ugly government to get out. And so whoever goes to final, or whoever that the Liberian people who are not voting for any party or who do not belong to any party should put their weight behind at least whoever they want for this particular election, a particular day. You don't have to be a member of the party, but for that particular day, that you should put your hand or your weight behind that person. Can we do that? Can we encourage them, or we should just sit down and let the political parties do their work? Or should the press start to do that? That's the question I really want to ask.
I mean, for me, as I stated earlier, after the first round, going to the first round, because everybody will go on their own ticket. I mean, the candidates will go on their own ticket. But after, I'm saying this where I know this will come up, but I'm not going to lie to anybody. If it's between George Weah and another opposition, I'm sorry, but I'm putting Liberia first. That's all I have to say. I'm putting Liberia first and put aside my own personal, when on Facebook, you said this about Mr. Cummings or you said this about me. No. If or when in the second round is between Joshua and I know it'll be between Joshua and Mr. Cummings, and I hope the UP people will put Liberia first. But all I'm saying is that when it reached that point, I'm putting Liberia first. Because we all sit in and say, oh, we want what's best for Liberia. So when we are faced with such, challenge, we got to put Liberia first no matter what. Because I can't lie to nobody. If we Liberians, we're going to let our people live 6 more years with George Weah, then we are more wicked than what George Weah is putting them through. I'm sorry, that is my honest opinion. Before,
Right.
I mean, like maybe yes, but I mean like 2-3 years, but I'm like, yeah, never, yeah. But, our people are suffering. Things are hard on Liberians in Liberia. Things are hard. For me, we can go there after vacation, we'll come back, But things are hard on the people. And to see them experience 6 more years, nah, I can't let, and as a mother, I can't let another child go through that.
Thank you.
Okay, let me come in. Straight point to my point. I have nothing too hard behind it. If they have the opportunity, I'll go every day and tell her to vote Mr. Cummings because I know he had the capacity, he has the means, he can deliver Liberia. That's no joke about it. Liberia conference or not, he will deliver. That's what I will tell you. Cummings is the answer. He will deliver. I will tell you straight from my heart. But let me tell you how it works in Liberia in terms of who do you vote for. We vote because of on these tribal sentiment, religious sentiment. That's how it works in Liberia. It's not what we policy. What can he do for Liberia? What can he do for me? We put personal stuff ahead of national interest. So until we can get this thing out of the way, then we'll understand. We'll be thinking straight to say, okay, tell me, go around and do voter survey in terms of election time. You will see different opinions where people or what ground people vote for you. I think probably on this show it'll be at some point we'll be running this show where we'll do the voter survey and think what the comment thinks about the next president. Oh yeah, my cousin is George. We are from. I'm from River G, or I'm from River Cess area, or I'm from this nuclear town. I grew around George. We are. He's my friend. Whether he's good for the country or not, that's how it works. So if we keep going on that line, we're going to be putting the wrong person in position. Not because I'm the same ethnic group or same religious group. We don't think that way. We stay near a voter ratio. We need safer education for our people in terms of who to vote for. You know where that comes from also? That's a fundamental issue. Because we need to, from the school, from school age level, teach the school kids what is good for democracy, what is the procedure, who should you vote for, what the country want. Then it comes to also with living, equal right distribution of wealth. People should not depend on somebody else's pocket to survive. There should be a system in place where our people can be able to live without being beggars. So they can decide for themselves. Why most Liberians are not deciding for themselves? Because their cousins, their uncles, some other minister tomorrow gave him some chance to get a bag of rice. So he will vote for him. Whether he's doing right or not, he doesn't care. He's looking for survivor. That's the problem. So if you ask me again, who do you put ahead? I'll go to every door and tell them Mr. Cummings is the answer. That's a straight question. But until then, we've got a lot of stuff to do in our country. First and foremost, the people need a bread and butter. How do you do it? Don't depend on somebody else's pocket. There must be a structure in place where the government can be able to provide those who can provide for themselves. Give job to people who need job. Give people that need work. Create job opportunities. Create a business opportunity for people to survive. At least 80 to 90% of Liberians will not be looking at government contract, government jobs. They can be able to do something for themselves. So we can't wait for somebody to decide for us. You see what happened? You got honest people to run for that country, to run our country. But until then, where we're looking at our cousins, our uncles, and someone will give him money for tomorrow, food. We'll vote for someone. I don't care what you do for the country. That's the system. So the answer is, Mr. Cummings is the answer. Tell every Liberian he will deliver. He has done it. He will do it. Let me do it everywhere. He doesn't need Liberia for anything. He needs Liberia to be fixed. That's all he wanted for. And then we should see in his eyes. You saw it for a kind of attitude you have exhibited recently. That's the leadership we're looking for. Thank you.
Okay, we'll return your final word, and then we'll go to Paul. Then we'll be wrapping this thing up.
No, like Jamal said, I mean, Mr. Cummings will reach the finish line, but when he reached there, and he just need because I see it like there is like a race. You're running, like the marathon where you run for hours and hours, and then before reaching the finishing line, you you might just need water. So, and Mr. Cummings would need, somebody from the opposition to give him, some water, But like I said, if we say we all love Liberia, this October 2023, in the second round, whatever decision we make, gotta be based on our love for Liberia and all Liberians. That's where I'm gonna stop.
Thank you. Paul?
I will pick on something, a quotation from Uncle Joe. Say, love Liberia, think Liberia, build Liberia. If we love Liberia, since he been working for Liberian government since 1950s to now, he will pass that baton to the baton to the younger people. That is the love of a country. If we so love Liberia, this is where there are a lot of intelligent young people in Unity Party that can run with this. If you love Liberia, get out of the race. It's a health risk to Liberian. If you love the country, you pull out. I will stand by my word. There will be no opposition unity, even in third round, fourth round, first round, second round. It will not happen. The fourth estate, I keep going back to them. They have the responsibility now. Say we don't have civil education in school. They should play that role until the next generation can catch up. They should be able to call the thing that this is where people should look out for. Nobody should come and give you $20 for you to sell your vote. Who going to lift you from mat to mattress? These are the people these are the ideas they are selling. Instead of someone sitting down calling radio station, this man are gay. You shouldn't vote for him. You vote for the old man who been working since 1950 when he started his first job. That is nonsense. The same way we gave it to George Weah and he admitted that I did nothing for them. They gave it to me because the love of a man. That is where we're heading again. The fourth estate should now begin the process of educating people how to vote. They should listen to the message, and the message is who get the best message should be the person given that opportunity. Mr. Cummings is the one that laid out his 5 pillars of how he intends to run Liberia. Listen to the other people. They have not laid out anything. They go on a travel line, and that we should be the one to debunk it and push Mr. Cummings' agenda forward instead of say, oh, second round. And I believe if the fourth essay play their card well, there would not be second round based on the person with the best ideology for the country will lead. I hold my peace.
Thank you for holding your peace on that point. But let me just wrap the whole thing up by saying that what we expect to happen, like probably because a lot of people talk about second round, and the reason why people talk about that is they look at the most recent history of elections in Liberia. But there is something somewhere in me that tells me that there will not even be anything like second round. And the reason is simple. We've seen, as for President Weah's administration, we've seen a lot of justifications, a lot to justify any reason why they were voting out. We've seen mismanagement of the economy, not only for the Liberian economy, to the point where the government will go and mismanage international donors' funds to the extent where key members of his officials will be sanctioned just few months before elections. I will not even say years. Okay. And that the country has even gone into more debt than when they took it. Ellen tried to, mitigate most of the debts, but we've gone into more debt. So there's just millions of reasons why every Liberian will be convinced not to vote for a Weah administration. So I don't see we are being any competitive force in this election. Where the competition will come from will be from within the opposition, realm. Now, having said that, what we need to do, like Paul said, is to examine these or these candidates that are coming to we the voters. Let us know. You see, because from all indications, Liberians have learned series of lessons over the years. Recently, Joshua said he did not do anything and we voted for him. Okay, so that would tell us, that should teach us that, okay, we voted for this man, he did not tell us anything. So we cannot hold him responsible for anything, he had not delivered anything. Then our Uncle Joe, where he had worked in government office in government for over 40 years, and we want to reward him. This is the reward democracy that we practice in Liberia. That if I'm all in the game, you'll reward me, whether I can deliver or not. So Liberians gotta be very careful at this time to see where their interest lies, because politics interest, not only that interest is not only for the candidates that are running or the voter. I mean, it's also for the voters. You, the voter, look for your interest. What can I get? What fresh idea does Joe Boakai bring to the table? This is a man who worked all those years. He did not deliver anything. But what have changed over the past 4 or 5 years that you think he will make a difference? Okay, and let's be fair. Mr. Cummings is a new kid on the block, so let's give him a trial. Let's try him. Let's see what he can deliver. There's nothing, no barometer by which we can judge Mr. Cummings and condemn him, because he had not failed us. He had not done anything in Liberian government. So let's give him that opportunity. And the last one I want to close on is this number game that people play. Just yesterday we saw endorsement, okay, and a parking lot within the Unity Party headquarters was what that crowd was in, just in a parking lot. So where's the 450,000 people? 450,000 votes, even though we don't expect them to come from all over the country to come for that endorsement, but the photo should speak. So people got to forget about this number. And I've always said that numbers can shift. It's not stable. Today you can play with 1, tomorrow you'll be playing with 5 or 10. Okay, so I believe that Liberians have learned a lot, and Liberians will not make similar mistakes that they made in the past, because they have learned over the years. And if they will go back to make even a grave mistake than what they have made before, then, well, like somebody said before, Liberians are special people. You can't underestimate them. They will make decisions that you can't understand. Yeah, listen to the song yesterday. We'll bring you down, we'll lift you up. You came my man, you came my pa, I'll vote for you. Sanction on you, no sanction on you. So we will talk. We'll do our best to educate them. We'll do our best to tell them, no, this is the right way. But it live with them, because when they are in that ballot box, they got that paper in their hand. The first thing they don't know, that paper will determine their future for the next 6 years or next 12 years. They don't know. All they know, they are there presently and they love this person and they'll vote for them. What happens afterwards, they don't care about it. So I will let them close there and say thank you guys. It was a great show, and people will differ with our opinions. People will also agree with our opinions, but that's it. And in life, don't never pray to satisfy everybody, because your good to somebody is your worst, and somebody's worst to you is somebody's good. The way they say somebody handkerchief, that's somebody towel. So Paul, I want to say thank you very much. You discouraged me from the start when I sent out the link. You said, "Oh, guys, I'm sorry, I'll not be on tonight." So I was like, "Okay, maybe Jima will not be there." And then all of a sudden, Jima popped up, and then Uruto. So it was a great show tonight, and to our viewers, we thank you very much for being with us, and we encourage you to share the show even after here, and you can listen to our radio, our online radio, like Jima said. If you busy, you cannot watch us live. You can say go and listen to the radio, and you will get us. And to my own sister, Sis Jolly, I know you I know something. Maybe you you had a bad dream about me tonight, but you're not sleeping, so you can't be here and be dreaming bad dreams. So I don't know, but you got to understand where I come from. I got to sit here and play a neutral role. If you bring me on as a guest, as a guest, then now I can farm it. But here I need to get the information from the other people. So I know you're not interested in who dream, but I just want to let you know that I'm not doing this thing by heart. Okay, so Paul, get us home with your famous. But my man, you've been dreaming back to me. I want to hear the Eugene Franco song, but then you always play the booga. So lead the boogas, but lead your small man. Hey, man, are your friend. Hey, you play football together. You're three in Ukraine. Hey, your man. You are muted, Paul.
We play football together, but the way he running my country, I'm not happy with his.
My man, you got to back your man, man. You're your man with me one day.
Yeah, with me, definitely with me after the election.
But the man gets all you. They say the man can kick girl. The man say, my man, that you know what come from you. Oh, you want calling me?
My man, any man made one of my men JY in the state. He can't go back for if I'm not dinner go for business. So,
you see, let Jima boy, you can push a fire. Jima, you always make him to play that music. You can push a fire, but because when you and we are me, they will not be there.
My man, yeah. That one, that common thing, we all meet up, we all the same age group, forget that thing. With me, we blast our issues.
Okay, in the whole group, you're Ali Papi, so let me rest.
So when we're holding our Bush going around the town looking for how they call it, Olympic to play. So we'll meet and have fun and talk all the nonsense. When we used to meet at Kennington Park, play football and drink pepper soup, we thought I want forget that thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So on that note, I want to say those in America, the embassy there, it looked like they won't be getting the Liberian consular is being passed over to Ghanaian, so people won't be getting their passport and things. So it's something that we'll look at on our
next week. But your friend they said they're not opening passport services all over the world. So I gotta go to London to get visa.
The next Liberian ambassador in the United Kingdom is a Ghanaian.
No. There's a consular in the Midwest.
Minnesota.
They brought a new system here.
No, but I think they put a hold on it.
Well, there's information there, King. I think that consular is shut down today. So something
it's shut down because there are a lot of modalities to work out. But
the Ghanaians will be taking over. So
no, they will not. Trust me on this one, they will not.
Amen.
We hope not.
Okay. On that note, thanks to my brother who is running Liberia the way he wants to run it. So I will go for the university student, number one hit, to remind him that, hey, it's time that the people who decided to put you there, they knew because they love you, but you have not delivered. So just do us the honorable thing to say, no, the job is too big for me. Let me step aside. So those who are capable of running the country can run it. So I will say good night to all of you and thanks for being with us. So let me take you home with this beautiful number one hit. When